Lex, first off, June is a significant month for the LGBTQ community. It's Pride Month. For folks who aren't familiar, what is the importance of Pride and what does it mean for not only our community, but for the center?
For folks that might not know the history of Pride, it actually started off as a riot and a rebellion against police violence. This was in the 60s when we were policed and our people were policed based on what we looked like, what clothes we wore, and who we loved. And so this particular iteration of Pride that we celebrate today really started off as a riot against police violence. So I want to make sure that folks remember that because that's how we benefit today by having all these parties and celebrations of joy, really rooting in the fact that our ancestors and the folks that came before us really had to fight for their place in society and to be treated like human beings.
Tell us how the center helps the LGBT community and also what happened during the pandemic.
Absolutely. So the LGBTQ Center quickly transitioned to virtual programming. We know that isolation and loneliness can impact our community deeply. Some of us might have had long-term partners that we've lost. Some of us might not have close relationships with family members because of our identity. And so the pandemic impacted, as we know, all of us, right? But for our particular community, we wanted to make sure that there continued to be spaces and ways that folks could get connected to other people who had similar shared experiences, history. So we moved much of our programming that you would have found in our building online. We also continued to make sure we helped provide food to our community in Palm Springs that looked like our weekly Thursday community food bank distribution, which was a high need for many people and continues to be a high need for many people in our community. And last but not least, mental health. And our mental health and wellness was and continues to be for lots of folks a deep need. So our pre-licensed clinicians transition to virtual hybrid programming and hybrid appointments to make sure that folks could find a safe place and a safe person to talk to about whatever might be going on in their lives.
Does the center have anything special planned for Pride Month?
Gosh, we have a few things up our sleeve. Our building in Palm Springs is actually still under construction. We use the pandemic as a way to upgrade some of the plans that we have for the center in Palm Springs. In addition, we also have a brand new location that we're readying here in the city of Coachella, which I'm actually calling from. So for this Pride Month, we're inviting residents, students, youth, families that we've worked with in the past to come and take a look in small individual groups at the Center Coachella, help us get some feedback about what they'd like to see moving forward for our LGBTQ queer and trans community out here.
The founder of the White Party, Jeffrey Sanker, recently passed away. Your reaction to his death and also what he meant to the LGBTQ community here in the desert.
Yeah, so my condolences go out to Jeffrey's community. Jeffrey was a part of a group of individuals who helped elevate Palm Springs specifically as an LGBTQ destination. He organized events for gay males. And so, when I think about Jeffrey, I think about the folks that will follow in his footsteps, the organizers and promoters who want to center queer and trans joy and spaces for us to express our love for ourselves and for each other through dance, and how they might be able to do that while centering our mental health and our physical and sexual health. I really believe that we need more spaces of joy, especially during the pandemic. I know I miss dancing, and White Party was a perfect example of how that could manifest. So I really look forward to seeing, what our community produces that evolves from White Party and is more inclusive for more of us.
And in lieu of flowers, his loved ones are asking for donations to be sent to the center, correct?
Yes, that's correct. We've already gotten a few donations from folks out there who were impacted by the spaces that Jeffrey created. So, just sending out my love to Jeffrey's family and anyone who's lost anyone during this pandemic.
All right, Lex, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks a lot.